What is up, everybody? My name's a Sweaty Fat Chick, and I'm bringing you a little overview on my favorite god in Smite. And for you guys that don't know what Smite is, it is a new MOBA. They call it a MOBA. I think it's more like a battleground from a MMO. One in particular I can think of is like Guild Wars 2. This is what it's similar to. But it does have the MOBA aspect, because it does have the 3-lane game type. But this I'm bringing to you is the arena game type with my favorite god, Loki. He is the trickster god. He's Norse, and he is crazy. He is a melee physical damage god. So he relies strictly on physical damage. His roles are he can be an assassin, and that's pretty much all you're going to use him for, is really an assassin. You can carry him when it comes to that 3-lane game type called Conquest. The pros with him is he's high single target damage. He has a lot of good movement abilities, and he has good getaways. But the cons with all that is he doesn't have much armor, and what can kill you in many fights is your cooldowns. His health starts out at 395, and you get plus 75 per level. Mana is 210 plus 35 per level. His speed is 375. His range is 12. His attack per second, his attack speed pretty much, starts out at 1, but you get a plus 0.02 every level. He has, just like with all the gods, you get 5 abilities. His passive is called Behind You. Loki deals more damage from his basic attacks when hitting enemies from behind. His basic attacks also utilize a 5-swing progressive change. So you're getting bonus damage is 20% when you're hitting them from behind. Giggity giggity, hit it from behind. The melee progression goes from 1 to 0.5 to 0.5 to 0.5 to 1.5 damage. So every time you swing. So if you notice, that's a 5-strike progression chain. And that really goes well with your 3, which we'll talk about soon. Your next one, your 1, is called Vanish. Loki disappears in a puff of smoke. While invisible, he moves faster, is immune to slows, and takes 25% less damage. His next basic attack from stealth, or for 2 seconds after, applies a bleed to his target, dealing damage every 0.5 seconds, and reveals Loki. This is the bread and butter of Loki. The stealth duration is 4 seconds, damage duration 2 seconds. You get 35% movement speed. Costs 70, 75, 80, 85, 90 as you progress up, and it has a 15-second cooldown. Your number 2 is called Decoy. Loki spawns a decoy version of himself that taunts all nearby enemy minions. After a short time, the decoy explodes, dealing damage to all enemies in the radius. So the damage isn't significant. This isn't one of your real damagey abilities, but it does help in arena, especially because the real goal is you want to focus on killing the minions, and this will make sure all the minions go and attack it. And if you have another god on your team that has an AoE, he can throw it in on it, because it'll have all the minions clumped up together. And once you get to high enough level, when it explodes, it'll kill all the minor minions. It lasts for 3 seconds. It also does plus 100% of your physical power. So the more physical power you do with your build, the more it'll help. It costs 60, 65, 70, 75, 80 as you progress in levels, and has a 14-second cooldown. Your number 3 is the aim strike, and this goes along well with your passive and your 1. Upon activation, Loki's next basic attack does additional damage with a short time. The enemy hit is also slowed. So this is key. It does 60, 100, 140, 180, 220 as you progress in the levels as damage, and it also does plus 100% of your physical power. The buff time is for 5 seconds, so for 5 seconds you get all the bonus damage. It does a 25% slow. It's not very significant, but you do notice it, and that still lasts for 3 seconds. It costs 50 mana, regardless of level. It's always 50 mana, and the cooldown, it it decreases from 12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds with the levels. Then your ultimate is called Assassinate. Upon activation, Loki teleports to his ground target location. If an enemy god is within the radius, Loki will backstab that target, doing damage and stunning them. The damage goes 150, 225, 300, 375, 450 with the level, and does plus 120% of your physical power. Stun lasts for 1 second. It costs 100 regardless, and the cooldown is 90 seconds. Just like with all the other champions, this is a pretty important ability for Loki. This really helps him just literally teleport and get his rotation off, which I'll talk about in another video. Talk about rotation that I use that helps me get a lot of kills in arena and helps me dominate. In this video, it's not so much as I'm not playing as smart. I just want to get a video that I'm showing all the abilities, you know, and just showing how Loki's playing, whereas I'm not focused on KDR. So yeah, that is an overview on Loki. I'm going to be putting out a series on Loki of different guides and different ways to play him. I am not an expert on Loki whatsoever. I'm just trying to help educate everybody else and let them know that he is a threat in the arena. And I know a lot of people used to play him. I haven't seen many play him lately, but I know when a lot of people see Loki, they instantly hate they hate that game. So yeah, stay tuned, and I'll thank you for watching. Peace.